Om Om Sadasivasmarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavaditamastu Mahavidyushavaihi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As we have been discussing on Guru Tattva, the first and foremost step is that I have problems. And second step would be not only I have problems, I have serious problems. After understanding that I am having serious problem, the next step would be that I am the problem. Unless I come to these steps clearly, carefully, I will not be in a position to understand that. I will take a little break. There is some alarm going on. I'm extremely sorry. It's my mistake. Sorry. So, okay. So this is the point again you can see here. As I was saying, the first problem is I have problems. Second step would be not only I have problems, but I have serious problems. And after analyzing very carefully, I come to a point that I am the problem. Until and unless I come to this point, definitely I cannot approach a teacher. I will be approaching entertainer. I will be approaching people for different purpose. That's why technically this point was taught in Mundaka Upanishad that we have seen Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Brahmanaha Nirveda Mayan Nasti Akruta Krutena Tad Vijnanartham Sa Guru Eva Abhigachet Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So keeping that in mind, I am trying to talk to you in psychological language. So this Pariksha Lokan Karmachita, the person has examined thoroughly all the experiences. So that means in every experiences, the experiencer was alive. Experiencer was there. Because with reference to experiences, sometimes the experiencer is not there. And when experiencer is not available in experience, now what happens? The experiencer gets carried away with the experiences. And whereas when the experiencer present in experience, now the experiencer starts observing the experiences, and that is what called examination. So that is what is being called technically pariksha lokha. And how do you do pariksha? How do you examine? So here examination is by performing. So you need to work to see the limitation, not fantasizing, visualizing. Yes, if you are really capable of doing that, that's fantastic, nothing wrong in it. But nowadays we do visualize a lot than doing. So that means the person has performed enough of, let us say here, rituals, enough of karma that are to be done, and has seen, hey, look, what I was looking for before doing karma, before doing anything, but after getting it, I did not get that what exactly I was looking for. So this understanding the person gets, and because of that reason only, now the person starts looking at very carefully that look, I need to understand, not I need to achieve. So my achievement is related to understanding, not by working. However, when a person, again psychologically, I'm looking at this point, that I am having problem or I am the problem here. Now, okay, I understand I am the problem. So you need to go to a person who should say, hey, you have a problem. For example's sake, you know my favorite, you know that you have problem. You know you have serious problem. Sometimes you know you are the problem, but you go to a psychologist. What psychologist will say? Psychologist will never say that you have the problem. Psychologist say, don't worry. So we'll try to take you for a different way, different ride, for different many sittings, which can be done in one or two sessions if you are ready or already you have come to this conclusion. But psychologist will not do that because it generally doesn't happen. Same thing also it can happen with a guru. So you are ready with this conclusion, but you reach. So Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You understand? Or do pranayama, stand on this, do that, do that. You know, there are many things. Kundalini yoga, this yoga, that yoga, do meditation, visualize this. So they can put you in their way because that much they know. So you cannot, and they will present in such a way that that is the method, that is the right thing to do that moment. Nothing wrong in it. It's their problem, not your problem. So that's why we say very carefully in that same verse also highlighted, who is a guru? The guru has to be Kshatriya and Brahmanist. Means the one who has studied scripture under a teacher for a length of time. Means the person who has methodology of teaching with him or her, not self-made, not acceptable. And second point is commitment towards the teaching. So these two aspects are there. Actually, if Brahmanistha is there or not, if the commitment towards teaching is there or not, no problem. Because that is the problem of Guru, not yours. But at least you need to check Shrotriyatvam, whether the person has studied under a teacher for a length of time systematically or not. Because you know there are different type of sampradayas in India. So when that's why we look at which sampradaya do you belong to. I don't want to blame anybody, anything. There are different sampradayas. Each sampradaya is meant for something. So you have to also see if the person belongs to this sampradaya, whether it is teaching oriented or not. Because many people say, look, I studied under a teacher for many years, maybe 1 hour, okay? So later on. And which sampradaya? Don't ask. So preferably also you need to see what is the sampradaya, what is the teaching tradition. Like we look at now when appointing a teacher, do we look at where did you do the teacher's training course? Do you ask or not? So whether it is first online or offline, which university? So what is your mark? What did you do? Do we ask all the details or not? So here also I need to know. However, if I check all these things, the most important thing is now there has to be Shraddha. Why Shraddha has to be there? Because, please understand, the teacher has to teach you through the words. So when the teacher starts teaching you through the words, you need to have that sort of sukshma buddhi to understand, at least making your mind available. That's why we have different types of teaching, or you can say this initiation based tradition, which Kularnava Tantra highlights. That look says beautifully, Vina Diksha na Moksha Sat Ukta Sivasasanam Sachana Sat Vinacharyam Iti Acharya Parampara. Where he highlights that initiation is must. So when this Diksha or initiation is being highlighted, based on this also says, look, there are different type of initiations. And we always look at how the person looks at this initiation. And when we say this different type of initiation, we say first type of initiation is called sparsha. So sparsha means by touching. Especially if you look at who are these people, that Shaktipat, for example's sake. Just I'm trying to give you some example. So what they do is they touch your Agya Chakra, press in such a way, and you are being initiated. So here is being highlighted that sparsha based initiation is called lowest type of initiation. And on the top of sparsha comes back. So back means the teaching, starting with Brahmopadesha. So from what? Mouth to ear. And we'll see this aspect very carefully. So definitely back diksha is better than sparsha diksha, higher than sparsha diksha. After this back diksha comes druk diksha. Druk means by mere look. So the teacher looks at your eyes, you look at the eye, you understand. So that is definitely better than back diksha. And finally comes called Veda diksha. So Veda means penetrating. So the teacher just penetrate the mind of a student, which is being taught in Dakshinamurti Stotram. Gurustu Mauna Vyakhyanam Sisyastu Chinna Samsaya. This is the point comes. The teacher does explanation, does commentary, does talks, being in Mauna, silent, doesn't look also. But the Shishya, the disciples, all samsayas, all the doubts get resolved. So there the teaching is called Veda. But remember, when these are the four categories are highlighted, now this sparsha also, if you are not capable, you understand? There are people so, gross, also, what is there? And second category that we are talking here, back teaching based. There your mind has to be available. And especially here we are doing in remote. You are in your atmosphere. So whether your atmosphere being morning, whether it is Rajasic, I cannot say Tathatvik, okay? Whether it is Rajasic or Tamasic, only you know. Huh? So that is up to you. So when you are in Rajasic or Tamasic atmosphere, what will you understand? You understand the concept? That's why I at least force you to be on camera so that you are forced to maintain some, discipline. And if that you don't do, it is your choice. Don't worry, because I am not going to lose anything. Nor in Tamil we say, I am not interested to see your munji either. However, coming back to the point, so munji means a face, okay? So here, coming to the point that when these four steps are there, and here being back diksha, so this is the diksha, the initiation, the class that we are taking. The mind should be available. So when mind to be available, what I need to do? I must be working with me. And the teacher is willing to say that you are the problem. And interestingly, teaching is going to say what? Hey, look, you are also the solution. For that, you need to have that much saddha to accept, hey, if I am the problem, how can I be the solution? I don't think so. Suppose if you have this sort of doubt, if you don't have the shraddha for the words of the teacher, you use your intellect. So you try to justify as you do everywhere. Now with reference to teaching also, you try to do that. Now what will happen to the teaching? Definitely the teaching will not enter at all. So the teaching will continue. Also, you will continue the way you are. And that is what happens. I see many of you, okay? So I complete one text after another. But don't worry, you remain, at least if you remain in the same way, I will be happy. You go down day by day. Because earlier I didn't study, now I know all these words, okay? There are four types of diksha. I think somebody said, Swamiji, I have done enough of this back diksha. Can you give me druk diksha? Or will you do some Veda diksha? What can you say? All these things will happen. Okay. That's why we say, I need to have that much Shraddha. Why I need to have Shraddha? Because there are many things. We say, if you look at the teacher, there is a very beautiful saying. All this Tantra literature talks very beautifully. Kularnavar Tantra talks this thing that Guru Manusha Buddhim Chamantre Chakshara Buddhikam Pratimasu Sila Buddhim Kurvanaha Narakam Vrajet. Very nice point is being highlighted. Suppose in the uh, idol, in the god, in the idol, you start looking at as a statue. Hey, after all, what is this? In fact, I only did puja, I only bought from the shop. What is there? So I can kick, I can do anything I want. You understand what I'm trying to say? Hey, after all, what is there? So when you start, because that is subconsciously, it happens to many of you, I have noticed. So what does it mean? That means you don't understand what you are doing. So in idol, you cannot have called, this sila buddhim, pratimasu sila buddhim na kurbana. Whereas if you do this, what will happen? They say, Narakam Brajet, you are in hell. If there is hell, this is called hell. Means your thinking is so crowded. You are so confused. You are just justifying. You are so engrossed with your thinking, you don't care. Same thing also is extended. Mantre cha akshara buddhika. So the mantra, after all, it is syllables. After all, it is few sounds. What is there? What is going to happen? So if you try to look at that mantra, is not going to work either. So that is not allowed. Same thing also, Guru Manushya Buddhi. So each of us has got limitation. Guru also has his own limitation. What is a big deal in it? So I am also in one way good, other way bad. He is also one way good, other way bad. So what is between? After all, we all are human beings. Some people they say comrade. Okay, I remember one person, very nicely elderly person. So whenever he will say, Swamiji, may I call you comrade? I said, why comrade? You can call me donkey. I'm okay. Okay. So what is the big deal? Why? How does it matter to me? So comrade. So like that. So you think that person will be able to understand anything? So that's why I said, why you are calling comrade? Call me donkey. I am perfectly okay. So coming back to the point here, that grow Manusha Vidya. Because the moment you start looking at this, he's another human being, she's another human being. Then what happens? You start comparing, you start competing without your knowledge. And when there is a comparison and competition, you will never learn in your life. Remember this much very carefully. However, so when this is being also taught, that's why they say very nicely, when this attitude you have, then only you will start not seeing the difference between mantra, devata, and guru. So these three we say synonyms. Ekarthavachakaha iti. So what are they? Mantra and devata, the deity, and the guru, because guru gives the mantra in the name of devata. And these three are synonyms. It cannot be separated. It is just extension. Very nicely. Like, we say ghataha, kalasaha, kumbhaha. These are the three words, okay? Made up of clay. Ghata is a small one. Kalasa, little bigger. And kumbha, much bigger. But all are made up of clay and they look and shape is same, but only height is difference. In special cases, same kumbha can be kalasam, same kumbha can be used as ghatam. Also, same ghatam also can be used kalasam too. It is ekarthavachakam. Only size differs. One is small, one is little bigger, one is big. Same thing also, mantra, devata, guru. And when a person has this attitude, only the person can approach a teacher carefully. That's why here, when this is being taught, then the teacher will start teaching what is God. Or else it is difficult to understand. Why? I can now come to the point. We'll go to our point of this Guru Stotram. Let us look at the Guru Stotram if I am having or not. I think I'll be having. Okay. Guru Gita, I doubt. Okay. So I think I need to work on many things in my life. Just 1 minute. Sorry. Okay. Good. Now, as you know, so Guru Gita is the discussion between Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva happens to be the teacher and Mother Parvati is disciple. Now, being wife, she has to look at her husband as we discussed, or else teaching will not happen. That's why it is also very carefully said, very nicely, that once Lord Shiva was talking all the secret and Parvati, as usual, slept off. And there was a condition you cannot afford to sleep, but slept off. And in that cave, there was a dead this parrot. And with this knowledge, the energy that was created, this dead parrot got alive and was doing. Lord Shiva was engrossed in teaching, thought that, this Parvati is saying, understanding. And when he realized, hey, look, it is not Parvati, she is sleeping happily. There is some sound from outside. And, started looking for who is that person. Now this knowledge is gone. And that particular bird started flying away and entered into the wife of Vyasacharya. And he did not come out of the womb, stayed 12 years. It's the longest pregnancy in the world. And after that, he was born as Shuka, who is the speaker of Bhagavatam. And this is how the teaching continues. And here he says, like, look, now I need to look at the teacher in different way, or else it is not going to work. Now, this particular text is believed, written by Vyasacharya. So now let us read. Prathamodhyaya Achintya Vyaktarupaya Nirgunaya Gunatmane Samasta Jagadadhara. It should be one word we have to take. Samasta Jagadadhara Murtaye Brahmane Namaha. So my salutations to Brahman. Brahmane Namaha. And who is that Brahman? He says, Achintya. That means it is not under the sphere of my thinking. Means my mind cannot reach. Being what? The mind of mind. And at the same time, Abhyakta Rupaya. That means in the form of unmanifest. Not visible for my perception, not available for my perception. Means eyes will not work. So which also all my sense organs is not sufficient to see, to understand. And at the same time, nirgunaya, free from all gunas, qualities. Because guna means there is division. So that means free from all gunas. Nirguna, at the same time, gunatmani, this with the full of gunas too, with the qualities. And interestingly, that Brahman is nothing. Samasta Jagata Adhara Murtaye. At the same time, I look at, even though it is Abhyakta, but it is also embodiment of, personification of the sustainer of entire universe. Narayanam Sakti Tattvam Chaparasaram. We have another, okay? Sadasiva Samarambha, another is Narayana. Sakti Tattvam Chaparasaram. There comes. So here the Narayan, the Vishnu, that is being available as the Abhyakta Murti, who is the sustainer of entire universe. that Brahman, my salutation. Rishaya Vijuhu. All the rishis now, what they do, they ask, Suta Suta Mahaprajna, Nigama Agama Paraga, Guru Surupam Asmakam, Bruhi Sarvamalapaham, Yasya Sravanamatrena, Tehi Dukhat Vimuchyate, Ena Margena Munaya, Sarvagyanto Prapedire. He says, look, now please, you are Mahaprajna. And being the knower of knowledge, we would like to know, who are you? Nigama, Agama, Paraga. So the one who knows both Nigama and Agama. So really we need to see very carefully. So what is this Agama and Nigama? There are different ways to look at. Generally, all this teaching tradition in tantric way, especially if you look at Nigama word and Agama, Tantra is different and Vedic is little different. So generally, in tantric tradition, including Sividya tradition too, teaching is divided into two categories. One is Agama method, other one is Nigama method. Like in Srividya tradition, we say Kadi Vidya, Hadi Vidya. So very technically we use very nicely. And one Vidya, the teacher is Agastya, other one is Lopamudra. So that means here we say one way of teaching, the lady is the teacher, woman is the teacher, other one is man is the teacher. It's an amazing concept. Nigama, Agama. And of course, in Vedic way we look at, because Agama Shastra will talk how to do puja, how to this Kalpa Sutra comes under that. And Nigama, all the nuances of that. So this Nigama and Agama Paragaha, both Vedic way and also in Tantric. You are known. Now you need to say Guru Surupam Asmakam Bruhi. What is the nature? What is the true nature of a teacher? And you need to tell us. Why you need to tell us? Sarva Malam Apaham Iti. That which washes away all impurities. So that's why we listen to Guru Stotram to make sure that whatever I have, my buddhi should go away. But you people are not able to chant so far, okay? So that's why what is to be done here is Sarva Mala Malapaham Iti. So that means what? Now, who is the remover of Sarva Malam? And one more verse I'll take. Yasya Sravanamatrena. By listening to this Guru Shurupam, the nature of Guru, the teacher, Dehi, the person, the one who is having Deha, the body, means the person, Dukhat Vimuchyate, will be free from all dukhas, all sort of conflictions. The conflict the person goes through, Yena Margena, by which marga, by which path, the which process, Munaya, all the contemplative people, Sarvagyatva Prabedire. So they have achieved the status of being Sarvagya, means Jnani Ityartha. They have become Jnani. More of it we will see. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.